giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
All right. What it do, y'all? It's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that Repent or Die podcast. For those that don't know, I am Jones, the original, by blood, not by converge. You know I'm out here to splurge with the what? With the word. I want to give all praise and glory to the Father, for he is worthy to be praised. Want to give you guys an update. So I've been hit with a strike for putting up something that Prodigy was saying within an interview that he was being interviewed, and he just stated how he was feeling, and they said that I was putting up misformed information, but we're gonna appeal that. 9 out of 10 times we're probably gonna win that. But when they do so, after you win an appeal, what these heathens would do is they would then look in for other videos and dig into, I'm a low YouTuber. I'm not somebody that's making money with them or nothing. So they're not gonna go headstrong until an appeal gets taken. So then it's like, oh, where are you trying to play? So then let's look up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I had to come out today and really talk my talk for a bit. Nothing too crazy. I ain't gonna lie, me seeing that nonsense really got me a little annoyed. But what can I say? I'm on these heathens platforms, right? And today's conversation, nothing crazy, it's just something that needs to be had, is but before I start, let me send my condolences to the creator of the 12 Tribes chart, who recently passed away. My condolences. This is not me trying to bash the brother, the elder, that's not what I'm here for. I would never disrespect my OGs. I'm not gonna act like his creation of this chart did not bring me to the Bible. I'm not gonna act like that didn't happen. But with this awakening that we have had for the last couple of months, it's important that we question every information, every document that's coming our way. The Father is opening our eyes to see through it, beyond it, the reason for it, and what to do about it. You understand? And one thing that I know for sure is that the 12 Tribes chart is not accurate according to what the Father says. Okay? So when you read, we're going to start off with, when you read Deuteronomy, right? It said that his children will be taken away and placed into ships, into a land they don't know, to serve thy enemies, right? Now, when you look up a large amount of people that are claiming to be the so-called Hebrew Israelites, they do not fit prophecy. They do not fit the regulations, or should I say the violations of breaking the laws. They do not fit that. And was there colored people intertwining with other nations? Absolutely. But to say that because of Genesis 49 is the reason to believe that these are the people, this is how you're able to identify the lost sheep of the house of Jacob. This information is really not true. You understand? It's not true. It's not true because, again, a lot of these brothers do not fit prophecy. But before we do, let me share my screen. This is the brother right here. This is the elder. Elder Ahraya from the original ISUPK passed away, the creator of the 12 tribes chart. This is the creator of it. Now, we're gonna look into the brother. And when the man came out with a video, or no, when the man came out with the 12 tribes chart, it was said even by his peers, and I got the video somewhere in the archives, and I got it somewhere in the channel, the 12 tribes chart. You could look, go on the Repentant podcast, go through the playlist, and you'll find it, the 12 tribes chart. And you'll see that the brother was using those as a tool to grab to lure people in, because a lot of brothers and sisters don't understand that the so-called Hebrew Israelite movement was created around the same time. It was an uproar, the black civil rights and the Black Panther Party and Nation of Islam, and it was just a lot of different demographics that was taking place. Brothers was cleaving onto here, brothers was cleaving onto there, we was all over the place. The whole purpose for that was to separate ourselves from the controls of the Europeans, so-called, so we thought, right? Because anybody can be bought. Anybody that you see that's on the main stage that has a big following, a major support, there's a machine behind it, they're pushing it, and there's a reason. So when this brother, rest in peace to the elder, no disrespect, like I said, so when this brother came out with this information, he brought this forth so he can establish a church, a movement, because that's just what this so-called Hebrew Israelite is. It's an organization. It's not about a nation. There's nothing nationly when it comes to Hebrew Israelites and their teachings and what they brought forth. It's all about an organization. People's gonna say that's not true. We're a nation. We nation building. If we was nation building, we wouldn't still be divided. We couldn't. There's no way the Chinese people is reading a book about Bruce Lee and everybody got different perspectives. There's no way. But for us, it's a massive division because it's an organization. The organization is, anybody that operates and run the organizations are always the breadwinners. And like I tell brothers and sisters, if you're doing the same thing that the leaders of the organizations are doing, but yet you still at the bottom and they are on top, that's a problem. Because the Father's words said what? He said, keep my commandments, you shall live. I shall make you the head and not the tail. Why are we still the tail and haven't become the head? Why is it the only people that's prosperous are the organization creators and the minions that fall in line? You know what I'm saying? You got the you got the higher ups, then you got the top tiers, you got the top tiers, you got the mid tiers, you got the low tiers, and then you got the servants, which was us, right? The ones that bust their behinds and that really is in the real world, going through the trials and tribulations and trusting and believing and having faith into these brothers, and these brothers is just cashing out on us. And when things hit the fan like 2019, 2020, these brothers was nowhere to be seen. But I digress, right? Cool. So this brother came out with this chart to lure people in. around the same time, like I said, it was the uprise of the so-called Black Renaissance. This is the Black awareness. Everybody's just, we want our freedom. Everybody protesting, we marching, we burning down things. It was just a lot of chaos. So there was the perfect opportunity for organizations like the Nation of Islam, organizations like the Hebrew Israelites, organizations like the Black Conscious Movement, those that was, following Islam to a degree, but branch off and do their own studies, even the 7%ers, the 5%ers, whatever you want to call these guys. A lot of these things was created. It was created around the time of, the Black uprise or the uproar. You feel me? So this brother came out with this chart. And when one of the brothers pulled him to the side, he said, "Yo, man, why are you telling people that, man? You know that's not true." His response was, "But yeah, it's not true, but this is the bait. This is what you're going to lure people in." So as a black man or a black and brown man who was growing up in these religions, in these churches, get an understanding, because this is how these organizations are won. This is how they won me. They plague on your ignorance. They plague on the lack of information. So when you don't know this information and they say something that fits you, you instantly say, this is what we was missing. This is why we in church, and I'm praying and I'm looking around and I'm saying, what's going on here? It's the same thing. So when he's brought this forth, he started saying certain things. And one of those things that he was saying, matter of fact, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Hold on. I'll give you guys my screen. All right. So, I'm giving you guys my screen, and we just let's run through this. Genesis 49:1. Look what the title says. I thought his name in Genesis 32, his name was changed unto Israel. But look, okay? Verse 49:1. This is after Genesis 32, after his name should have been changed to Israel, which was said to never be said, Jacob to never be said or be called or referenced no more. But I digress. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, "Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days." It says, "Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto," look how this is how you know interjections. "Sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father." See, they always got to put themselves as the authority every time, right? It says, "Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of diligently, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou went up in the father's bed, then defiled it, and he went up to my couch." So Reuben, according to the 12 tribes chart, is matter of fact, let me pull this up too. Let's pull this up. Okay. So Reuben is that they got it as the Seminole Indians. But for what I was told and what we was told, those that, was active into this Hebrew Israelite movement, we was told that Reuben was your Australians, the brothers and sisters that's in Australia. Those was Reuben. This is what we was told. Right? And verse 5 says, Simeon and Levi's are brethrens. Right? Are brethrens. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. So he said, because Simeon and Levi are brethrens, they took this as this being Dominican Republic and Haiti. Now, the reason why the father says Simeon and Levi are brethrens was because when Japheth's children raped our sister, it was Simeon and Levi that was the head of the coalition, or should I say, the get back. So when our father Jacob says Simeon and Levi are brethren, instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Now, they're going to say the instrument of cruelty can be, the instrument of the cruelty is going to be voodoo and witchcraft and sorcery. The Mexicans do that too. There's a lot of people in Africa that do that too. There's witches in Europe that does that too. So when you say that, it's not accurate. Right? Verse 6 says, O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, my honor. Be not thou united, for in thy anger they slew a man. See this? This is what he's saying. Through thy anger, they slew a man. They was killing. They killed the person that did what they did to their daughter, to their sister, and then wanted to marry them. And then they was like, yo, the only way you gonna marry them, you gotta be circumcised. And when they was circumcised and they was at their weakness, because any man knows you got something with your nuts, it's hard for you to function. Then they came and they killed them. Right? Look, cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in what? We know this say Israel. He was scattering them all across the world. Because the Simeons aren't what you think they are. Again, you can just read this. This does not show any together. Simeon and Levi, they was talking about earlier in Genesis when they slayed the man. And it tells you right here, right? Judah, thou art him who they brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Right? So we know this. This is evident. This is evident because our Savior came from the lineage of Judah, right? David, right? But at the same time, Saul was a Benjamin. So you understand what I'm saying? Okay? Judah is a lion whelp from the prey. My son, thou art gone up. He stood down. He crouched as a lion, and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? Right? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Right? Blinded his fowls unto the vine, and his ass coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garment in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. So this is the final judgment for when he comes. His eyes shall be red as wine. So this is just this right here. This right here is talking about our big brother. Right? Let's continue. It says, Zebulun shall dwell at the heavens of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and for the borders shall be unto Zidon. Okay? Now, you guys don't know that the northern tribes are on the west coast of Africa. The southern tribes are everything under Congo. The southern tribes, we was dwelling in Zimbabwe. We was in those areas. You understand? We was there. We was in those areas. Issachar is strong as a couch down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and that the land it was pleasant, and bow his shoulders to the bear, and become a servant unto tribute. Now, couch in between two burdens, and he showed rest was good. This can't be your so-called Mexicans, because they don't like to rest. They every minute they working. And it been documented and it been proven from even before the so-called outsiders got into their lands. They wasn't doing no harm. They wasn't out here wilding, like keeping the commands and doing this. They was always working. There was always, that's just in their nature. This is why they get hired for cheap. They don't work. They don't rest, I should say, excuse me. And he saw the rest was good. We read that. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. So so how does Dan correlate? My bad. He came the serpent people, came the Romans. This is the foolishness. This is the lack of information. Dan is the brothers that's been compromised. A lot of us don't know our genealogy based on our heritage being stripped from us. So when you don't know your understanding, look, Dan shall be a serpent by the way, a adder in the path, that bite the horse of the heel, so that his rider shall fall backwards. So basically, he's going to be sneaky. He's going to do things behind people's backs. He's basically going to be a commandment breaker, which is a lot of colored people. Right? I have waited for thy salvation, O Father. God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So when they say God was overtaken by the native, when Christopher Columbus came over God, they didn't overcome at the last. They still at the bottom. They still not gonna overcome. Why are they not gonna overcome? Because they shied too far away from keeping the laws. And God, according to some people that's in the Holy Land, God is really Chad. Remember, I told you the northern tribes are up. The southern tribes are everything from the Congo down. All of that is the southern kingdom. Right? Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Right? Where Asher's bread is fat at? Like I said, all of this, because this could be in the Holy Land too. Because Africa is fat with everything. Where all of this royal dainties. All of this. The place in South Africa called Kimberley. That's where all your rappers get their jewelry, diamonds, and gold from. All these nations got their hands in our land. Every single nation got their hands in our land. Okay? Look, Joseph is fruitful, bought. Even a fruitful bought by a well whose branches run all over the wall. How does this correlate with Puerto Ricans, the Cubans? Where does this? Who told us this? Okay? Who told us this? Now, when it says Benjamin shall rave as a wool, in the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. This could also be, this could be people here in America. Because I know a lot of people that sing psalms and rave as a wool and do the whole shebang. Shout out to to the elderly model that every morning when she used to be at my mom's house, every morning we used to wake up. She over here singing some gospel in her language, in Creole, singing some song every morning. She sit down, she's singing, she's giving praise, she's praying, she's this, she's doing that. She's only telling bon Dieu, all day. All day. And one time I asked, I was like, yo, you know, are you doing this because you older now and you in your later years, you trying to disconnect? She was like, no. She said, we always do this. And she was shocked that we're not doing this. They always do this. It was a custom for us. We wasn't singing these Luciferian satanic songs. Remember, she was born in 1914, 1915? She's an elderly woman. But her upbringings and her growing up wasn't what we were doing now. You know, we wake up and we could sing a Jay-Z verse, a Biggie verse. I was just in my head, the Tupac song "Hit 'Em Up" came up. I was watching a video and that song came up. But in those times, like, we knew who we was. I want to say we knew who we was. We knew that we had to seek God, because the heinous things that we was dealing with as people, we knew that it was from disobedience. Remember, message and information gets passed down. It's told in secrecy, but it gets passed down. Right? But I digress. So let me go back to this. All right. So again, I appreciate everything that the elder did, that the father allowed him to do, because yes, this 12 tribes chart allowed us to start reading the Bible again. It allowed us to want to connect with the Father again. So I would never knock the brother for that. But to say what we read from 49 correlates with what was written here, it's a lie. And again, even when you read it, take the time out and read it. Don't read it and then read it and wait for somebody who was taught by these people to give you interpretation. You must study to show thyself approved unto the Father and to let him reveal it to you. And when he reveal it, you're going to see that a lot of things that these people brought forth isn't true. Because like I said, in the northern or on the west coast of Africa, that's where the northern tribes dwelt at. Facts. And when we left When we was fleeing Roman persecution, we went upwards. When you read the book of Obadiah, the reason why the book of Obadiah, you can tell that the Father has a judgment for Esau, because the book of Obadiah, when we was trying to pass through the Congo, these heathens was these brothers was making it hard. Esau was making it hard. But you've been brainwashed to believe that Esau was a European. That's not true, people. That is not true. Esau is not a European. Esau is a colored man, a red brownish man. He was born light skinned. He was born red all over. I can show you black babies. Pull this up. I'll show you something. Look. I'll show you something. Share my screen. So we got to put an end to the lies. Okay? There's babies that can come out looking directly like this. Right? And you see what I typed up. Newborn black babies out the womb. Right? They'll come out looking like this. They could come out looking like this. Red all over. They could come out looking like this. This is black. Come out looking like this. Red all over. My son came out looking like this, and they had to put him under the light. Look. So we can't run with this foolish excuse and lies that was told to you by the oppressor. Why are we still arguing with the lies? Look. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their color. Look. Everybody has their color. This is what we banking on. This is what we banking on. Because a picture was painted before you to believe the foolishness, to believe the lies. A picture was painted before you. You was told that. You was taught that. You guys don't even know. You don't even pay attention. Brown men with red hair. Look. This could be Esau right here. Look. See, you guys don't know what you guys are talking about. Look. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You gathering your information from individuals. Look at another one. Look. But you guys are not. You guys are unwilling to do the obvious, the basics, because you guys want to go straight into the source and being the overseers Because everybody wants a part of the organization. Everybody want to start an organization so they can receive a collection. Let's keep it 100. Not everybody is telling the truth. Because if we was really out here building nations, GOCC, ICU, ISUPK, IUIC, all of these brothers would have came together one time. It was like, yo, we're doing this. We're building that. We're buying this. These individuals are sitting on millions of dollars. You forgot about the black man that said that he was the Holy Spirit. He was the comforter. And they got caught with tax invasion and all that. These dudes was in the club buying all of this, driving nice cars. Everybody within these organizations is touching money because they're not coming out and doing the foolish things that the comforter did. But we're not gonna act like these brothers is not out here tossing a bag. You should see these people homes. Why you dudes are still sleeping in the basement, bro? These dudes is living in mansions, mini mansions. When things hit the fan, they're gonna be all right. But me and you, we're gonna be in this fight. We gonna be out here in these trenches trying to figure it out. My door's gonna have to be open for brothers and sisters. This is a fact. And these people know that. They know that. But nobody ain't taking the time out to do their in-depth studies to see if this joint is accurate because we want to just be the overseers. So that was a lie. Everything that you have been told has been a lie. The One West teachings, ISUPK, no disrespect to the brothers, but every single one of those brothers was compromised the minute that joint was founded and put together because the brothers that was taught by the rabbis, and they know that. And the reason why they started their own thing, because again, they had to be approved by the rabbis, and a lot of brothers was rejected, and a lot of brothers also failed the test. So they was like, man, forget this goddamn test. We're gonna just do our own thing. The book is about us anyway. And that's what they wanted you to know. Yes, they want you to know that the book is about you. But the Father doesn't care that you know that you are a so-called child of Israel. He doesn't care for that. He cares about, are you keeping these laws according to what I'm telling you? Yes, you're reading the book. Yes, you're touching this. We got it. You're reading this. Praise the Father for that. But are you really doing your in-depth studies to see, to know your feasts? Do you see when things was interjected? We got brothers that's celebrating the Feast of Purim, a feast that was never ordained by the Father. If it's not ordained by the Father, it's tradition of man, and our Savior exposed that. If it's not created by the Father, it is a feast a feast created by men. It's a tradition of men. And when you pay attention to the time that it's created and it's done around the same time as Valentine every year, never late. Around the same time. And you guys don't know that the reason why they put that there and they followed it because, again, these outsiders are heathens. These Khazars are heathens at heart. So they had to create something so when they go inside of a store to go buy balloons and flowers, it won't seem like they're celebrating Valentine's Day. It seemed to be as they're doing something for their wife and their children as the Feast of Purim. And when I say this, brothers and sisters, get upset. It's not for you to get upset. It's for you to understand that they tampered with our history. We know what these people are capable of. Our big brother exposed them and gave us the ultimate precept, which should be the beginning statement to the blueprint of the black man. When it says, you are of your father the devil, and the lust of your fathers you shall do. For there is no truth in him. They do not abide in truth. Everything is done in secrecy through lies. It's a secret to society. All we ask is trust. They know this. But why don't you know this? What makes you think for 1 second, just think about this. What makes you think for 1 second that a whole infrastructure that was literally put together based off lies would now all of a sudden tell you the truth? And if you believe that you guys have received the truth, then why haven't our nation rise? Why haven't us, the so-called commandment keepers, have turned the tables where we're the head and they're the tails? Oh man, you gotta be patient, brother. You gotta be patient, man. It's coming. You see the prophecies. No. What you see going on is the Father keeping his end of the bargain. He's keeping his end of the covenant. Remember when he said, your children should be afflicted and served for 400 years? Yeah, 2020 equals 400. 20 times 20, 400. And guess where we at? We are here. You see what's going on? You see what's going on? And like I tell you, brothers, here in the United States of America, I tell you, brothers, this simple. Check this out. I advise you guys to really start seeking this Father according to the Father. Keeping the feast days according to the Holy Land, not where you at, or not doing what was given unto you. When you read and understand that these people put these things together, this is why you got one camp that celebrate Passover in March and the other in April. Some even doing it in May. Following the moon. When you see the word new moon, it really means new month. But they had to put that there because everything that they do is symbolical. It's a message to every story. Are you reading it? Are you seeing it? He that got eyes to see, let him see, ears to hear, let him hear. Why aren't we hearing this? Why aren't we seeing this? What's covering us? Is it the 12 tribes chart? Is it the One West teachings? Is it the name Israel? Is it the fact that we aren't studying, we ain't doing our research, we ain't doing our homework? I told you my description. I got a shout out to the Truth Unveiled. The brother gives you 100% actual proof that the Holy Land is and has always been in Africa. And brothers was overlook that and still justify the Middle East when you can look up maps that shows you that that area was deliberately called Arab land. Babylon's supposed to be by the Nile River. The Nile River that you guys are seeing in Iraq was created by the Iraqi government. And they call it the Nile River because it's another name for, I think, a Nile or something like that. Nala, something, Nil, something like that. Or Ni. I forgot. Like I said, I got these things on my phone. Matter of fact, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you guys something. I know I sent it to the big bro. Hold on. Okay, now look, I'm gonna show it off my phone. Let me see if you guys can see it. Look, get closer. Oh, let me read it. It says the Ananau was a city of the Melville, Iraq, located at the modern site of Nanalia. It was founded by Alhaja Abana Youssef, the Ubanian governor of Iraq, on the canal known as the Shita en Nile, which was named after the Nile River. Both the canal and the city were built. Listen, was built as part of a land reclamation project intended to increase the population of the area. It was created. It was created. Look it up yourself. Stop letting these people give you false information. It's time for brothers and sisters to start wake up, study to show thyself approved. See, when I gain information, I put it together. So Babylon has to be by the Nile River. The Nile River is in Africa, which is in the east, right? A little under Ethiopia, or probably a little up. I'm not too sure. The elders be bringing it forth, right? So I say that to say this. You can't gain your information and stand on these informations by the very same people that oppress you. Let me show you another one. Hold on. Let me show you another one. Show you another one. Look. Okay? Look who's orchestrating these records. From Jerusalem to the Lion of Judah and beyond, Israel foreign policies in East Africa. This is what they created. So they're telling you that they left Israel and came into Africa, into Ethiopia, because you see these individuals who converted because they was the mixed multitude in Second Esdras and was kicked out of the Holy Land because they was dealing with other nations. So we left there and we migrated here. So when you see these group of people with the things on their heads, we're believing that that's true. But the same colored people know that the things on their head is Talmudic, but we don't question nothing because we're just so happy to see black people partaking in European Jewish customs. Can't see beyond the norm. Right? Now listen. Let's look at the name. Stephen Carroll. Okay? Pay attention to the name and why and who are doing this. Because these people sit back and are paid. Okay? These people are paid to lead you astray. If this was any true actual facts, you think the people that owned the press company, like the Rothschilds, would allow that to be printed? You think they will allow that to be printed? They're only going to allow you to print any and everything that says their name on it, right? Because when you see something like that, it's giving these people the right to come and try to own that land, the real Holy Land. This is the psyops. I can pull up the information when I told you in 19. They had a council meeting with all the so-called world leaders sat down, and they was looking to make a new home they was looking for a place to call home for the so-called holy people. And they thought about Nigeria, and they thought about Kenya. And the reason why it didn't go through is because if they put themselves there and there's a whole bunch of Europeans around black people, it wouldn't make sense. That's for one. And for two, they seen the lions, the tigers, all the animals, and it was like, nah, we can't live here. We will have to literally kill them in order to live here, and that will cause a problem. And on top of that, there was already in conversation with the Northeast, with the Palestinians, though the Arabs, and say, yo, man, look, man, we trying to, you know what I'm saying? So how much, they made a contract, they made an agreement. Guess what? They broke their end of the contract. And this is why they've been beefing ever since. Come on. Let's continue. Show you some more. The languages. Now, I just showed you here that we went here and we end up here, right? This is what they're selling us. Cool. So why nobody is speaking Hebrew? Let me zoom in. I see synagogue. I see French. I see Arabic. I see English. I see Mandadika, Fula. I see Bisua, Portuguese. I see English, Bengali, Kiro. You see every language, Spanish, French, every language. Now, when you see Tanzania, you see how they divided. Look, see where you see the French. This is where the northern tribes was dwelling at, people. All of this was the northern tribes. All of this. Because Noah's family is from here. So we had our land. Scroll up. Look, this is where we was at. You see English, you see English, you see English. That means these was lands that was run by the British, who was always here. So when I hear brothers and sisters say King James was a black man and he compiled the Bible because of this, that's not true. That's a lie. He had his hands in our demise. He got all the best writers in 1605. Around the same time, brothers was being put together in ships. You can tell that it was a rush job because you see a lot of mistakes. Praise the Father for allowing and making sure that the mistakes was there. They're trying to clean it up now, but you're seeing a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes was made. They was rushing. So by the time we got off from 1605, it took them, I think, 7 years. By the time it was 1614, 1616, we got off the Holy Land into a new land. And when we got off, we was told that if we catch you singing and humming and praising, we're going to kill you. And then they was killing. And then they was giving the children the Bible. And then the first thing, they wasn't going into the Old Testament. It was the Father that started allowing us to read the Old Testament. We wasn't going through the Old Testament. We wasn't allowed to. We wasn't allowed to. You wasn't allowed to go to the Old Testament because the Old Testament was it's too informative. It had too much memories. So in order to brainwash and uphold their positions and provide you guys with a European image as your savior, we had to only keep it New Testament. And they knew that the New Testament had a lot of contradiction within the Old because they put their own in it. His name was Saul and they changed his name to Paul. Listen, anytime you see the name change, you know it's a psyop ox. It's a psyop mission. There's a reason behind it. They do that intentional. I tell you guys this all the time. Anytime they need to hide something or do something or own something, they have to change the name. If I want to include myself into the lineage of Abram, I have to change his name to Abraham. In order for me to be the overseers of the book, I have to change Jacob's name to Israel. And to hide myself to be up under them. So when they awake, they're gonna think that we're brethren, and I can marry their sisters and daughters and cousins and aunties. Just as long as we carry the same faith and call on the same European gods, I'm gonna change the name from Edom to Esau, or Esau to Edom. I'm gonna do these things. I'm gonna hide myself. And then I'm gonna also teach them Islam also. When we fell, before King James did what he did, we had Islam. So Islam came and did what they had to do, and the first thing that they said is, "Why you get mad? Are you gonna rebel against your brother? I'm Ishmael." And we take that and we run with it. Meanwhile, they use these things as an excuse to desensitize our pain and our anger, to be like, listen, brothers and sisters, we fight, but I'm sorry, forgive us. And then we start being forgiven, and then now they start secretly try to take you out. People don't understand, but like, yo, son, Islam is great. Tell me one location where it's colored people that follow Islam and the community's in good hands. Philly's in turmoil right now. Delaware, turmoil right now. Baltimore, turmoil right now. And majority of these brothers follow Islam. It's just another European deception to keep you confused. And I tell you guys this, but nobody want to listen to me. It's another demographic creation by the Vatican to lead you guys astray. And don't forget that Christianity and Islam was forced upon you, okay? You was forced to uphold and believe into Jesus Christ. We didn't just believe the nonsense. Once upon a time, we had common sense. We knew 1 + 1 had to equal 2. So when the European or the outsiders was doing what they was doing to us, we was always looking at them like the enemy. And when they try to bring forth this foolishness, we was like, get out of here with that. And those that was saying that, get out of here with that, they was the ones that was being beaten, slaughtered, having their child taken away, sent into the alligators to be fed on for some alligator shoes, and then put on the alligator shoes and walk right into the cotton field and say stuff like, look what your son got me. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Come on now. These are the things that people don't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it for you, because at the end of the day, the truth must be told. The truth must be told. And when Islam came about, what? Yo, we're not doing that. What you mean you're not doing that? All right. Doors get kicked in. The first thing that they did was grab the children. Paid attention. Watch how the father's operating. Sometimes they waited for the father to be away. Because we was busy men. We was kings. We was ruling. We was doing what we had to do. Wait for us to get away and then infiltrate, rape, slaughter, butcher, kidnap. And when the father came home, can you imagine as a father, as a long day of work, you trying to come home to peace. And then you come home to chaos. You come home to see your wife throat slit, your child's leg chopped off. And they leave they'll probably leave their infant alive just for you to get by and to conform and to comply. And if you don't, you got slaughtered. You know how many people done died? People don't understand that they acting like, yo, we was just, oh yeah, they came and no. Everything was a battle. We was like, what? We're not doing that. What you mean you're not doing that? Similar to what it is right now. But the problem is now that the Father is with us. They can't do what they want to do. Trust me, if they could put everybody in slavery right now, they would have did it. They can't do what they want to do. So they know that if they try to do harm and wickedness, they're gonna be penalized for it. That's why I tell all parents, like, yo, teach your children to praise the Father. Because if they was to ever touch the children, see all the children that's dying, all the children that's end up missing, all the children that's going through their trials and tribulations, those are the children who parents allow Lucifer to be their power. Okay? There's no protection. There's no hedge. How does the hedge come about? The hedge come about first by the parents keeping the laws, teaching these children how to do right, how to love, how to care, how to honor, how to stand righteousness, how to be a just man and still be a real one. Not this fake Catholic foolish nonsense where they teaching men to be very passive, lack of aggression, baiters. And even with these so-called camps out right now, when you see these men, these dudes are betas, bro. Everybody's like, yeah, my brother, you know, I'm just trying to do right. Ha ha ha. Chill. I'm like, yo, bro, live a little, man. Live, man. Live. You made in his likeness and his image. You can be you in righteousness, bro. You can be you in righteousness, bro. You don't have to hold yourself, tie yourself down because of a writings that was given to you by Paul. Got to be in the fruits of the Spirit. What fruits of what spirit? The Father's Spirit is already in you. Once you come back to him, you're not going to defile your temple. You're going to move on a righteous type of time. But that doesn't mean to discredit who you are as an individual, as a human being. You now got to be very passive. Like when I see my brothers, and like I said, even for me, I can contest to this. I see the brothers, you know, I'll be on the phone with my mans laughing, ha, 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 yeah, yo, bro, you wildin', boom, 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 boom. And then you get around these brothers and now it's like you got to tame that. Like, yo, yeah, man, what's up? When the teachers used to call, you instantly come into a trance. It's like you see these dudes like they're gods, and you're like, peace, elder, peace, deacon, peace, bishop. How you doing, man? How's everything? How you doing, my brother? Everything good? Yeah. You know, we ain't doing. We out here. You know, same script, but we're not paying attention to that. We're not paying attention that that's not how the Father created you. Everybody's created to be different. Now, you do have naturally passive individuals. But for the real ones, like somebody like myself, we came from outside, bro. We was in all of this. Like me and my son Bill, we have conversations and I'll have my spirit in the moment when I'll just be snapping. Not snapping on no disrespectful cursing and all. I'm snapping like how I'm snapping now. Talking how I'm like talking now. Because this is what we do. It's in our nature, it's in our blood. Especially somebody that's a Moon Haitian. As a Haitian person, you know how Haitian people do, bro. Haitian people have a whole regular conversation, but the whole community can hear it because it's always intense. But these dudes are chilling. It's in your nature. Our words is like the sword is like running water. Our mouths, it's like running water, bro. Been that way. It's going to stay that way. And you shouldn't have to change because you are being met with brothers who's following an organization that's teaching you guys to be this, I don't know what it is. And when you read things like what's this dude name? What's the serial killer name? And he had his own cultist thing. When you see these people are very subtle, very calm, very nice. But you know behind closed doors, these people's like, man, what's up, man? Probably cursing, drinking blood, doing the whole shebang. Come on now. We don't see that. We're not paying attention to that. We're not seeing that when we're around certain individuals, we fall into a trance. And it's when you get by yourself, it's when you get around your family. I used to drive, be in the car. I'm on daddy mode and I'm barking on my son. I'm tweaking on my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Just doing what daddies do. Like, yo, what's wrong with y'all? And then pull up in front of the church and you instantly got to turn that off. Hey, my brother, how you doing? Hey. Peace. How's everything, man? You know, we just trying to endure. You know, we just trying to get through. We just trying to do what we got to do. Not knowing that we being lied to. You know what I'm saying? We follow the ways of the Gentiles, man. Come on now. Gotta wake up. We gotta start doing better. And I say all of that to say this, man. Like, at the end of the day, we gotta make a conscious decision. We need to start reevaluating every information that was handed unto us. And shout out to the brother that helped me with my walk. I forgot his name, but anybody, you guys probably seen the video. The bald head, light skinned dude with the glasses, and he was like, "Do you know who you are? Boom, boom, boom. And we came from Africa, which the language that we speak. Boom, 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 boom." That was a good introduction. That's how it got me. It's a good one. But I'm the man that's gonna dissect that and take that down, and we're gonna talk about that. Maybe I'm gonna bring it forth, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I might bring that forth for separate conversation. But yeah, come on now. It's time. It's time we rise, people. It's time we get stronger. It's time we get wiser. Time for us to really start seeking the Father according to the Father. We all we got out here. Things is getting crazy. Ohio is just the beginning. California is just the beginning. Wait until it starts hitting major cities like New York. We see what's going on in Texas. This is just the beginning. This is the fall of a nation and the rise of another one. The ones that's rising is me and you. Do you want to be risen? Do you want to be in the kingdom, or you want to remain in prison? You ask yourself that. And again, man, these heathens ban me from bringing forth my information on YouTube. I'm about to go appeal this. So hopefully, things be good. And if not, Repent 12 Media, I'm going to place it there. Or Repent or Die Podcast #2. You know what I'm saying? So, we always out here working. You feel me? But again, it's your brother, man, from the motherland. I came to you guys live. Continue supporting. Continue tuning into the episodes of Real Podcasts that I talk about every Sunday. Comes out on Monday. We talk that talk, and I might just start doing lives with the Sunday conversations and talk about black problems. Because at the end of the day, I'm for my people. I'm for the black and brown. Ain't no other way around. You feel me? So continue supporting. And if you don't know who I am Junes the Bantu, aka Mr. What? Keep my foot on you heathens, you Hebrews, and the newly installed Heathenites next. Are you dumb or are you done? Father, say it one time for the one time. And I'ma holler at you. One.